Hey friends, this is Live from Somewhere, and today we're traveling to Mexico to visit Chichen Itza. We'll tell them something amazing.
The Mayans played a game, and sometimes the losers were sacrificed. But you know what? Sometimes they sacrifice the winners.
Dang, well that's pretty dark. Do you have any other facts to share?
Yes, I do.
This is Live from Somewhere.
Chichen Itza, baby.
If you like what you see, click the subscribe button.
And click the notification bell thingy to stay informed.
Hi, I'm Will. Come with me and my dad as we explore new places. You'll hopefully learn a little. You'll definitely laugh a little. This is Live from Somewhere.
Hi everybody, my name is Brian.
My name's Will.
And you lucky people have successfully found
Live from Somewhere.
For the newbies out there, Live from Somewhere is a show that takes us to super cool places via Will's time machine, and we teach you a little bit about those cool places. This episode is the official halfway point through our visits to what, Will?
The new 7 wonders of the world.
And which 7 wonder are we going to today?
Chichen Itza.
Chichen Itza, not to be confused with chicken pizza. Anyway, let's get this ride over with. We've been experiencing technical difficulties with Will's time machine.
Not this time.
Yeah, okay. Well, punch in the location and let's go. Oh, got a little new watch thing.
Start.
Oh, oh, this isn't so bad. Will, I can chill with this.
This is
Huh?
cool.
Yeah, ready?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We have cleaned up from our recent electrocution from Will's time machine, so thanks for that, Will.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, electrocution's not bad. It just hurts when you're getting electrocuted. But we're good now. We cleaned up. So anyways, here we are at Chichen Itza. And where is Chichen Itza, Will?
In the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico.
That's right. And it's Mexico's top tourist attraction, so they say. And how much traffic do they get there, Will? How many people?
1.2 million people a year.
That's right. So that's a lot of people. So when I'm learning stuff every day. I think you are too. So Chichen Itza, when I thought of Chichen Itza, I thought it was just the one temple thing, the one pyramid. You too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just the one pyramid. But Chichen Itza is not that one pyramid. That one pyramid is not even called Chichen Itza.
There's like a whole lot of temples and buildings.
Yep.
And
There's temples. There's cenotes, which we'll talk about what that is. There's a ball court, which we're definitely going to talk about. And Chichen Itza takes up, they say, about 4 square miles. And plus, people lived on the outskirts of that. And they said, at its height of its popularity, there was anywhere between 50 and 100,000 people living there. And we'll tell you why they think that there was that many people living there. But when was this thing built, Will?
it was built between 500 and 600 AD.
That's right. So roughly around 500, 600 AD by the Mayans. And so that was definitely a long time ago. And they think it grew to popularity because of these cenotes. And Will, what's a cenote?
A cenote is like a water that they kill people in.
Well, we don't have to talk about killing people in.
But not today.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that a little later. But a cenote is an a natural underground reservoir. And the Mayans held these things sacred. So it was said to believe that, well, they need water to survive anyways. So they had that. They thought it was sacred. So the gods were close to this thing. And that's why a bunch of people moved there. And we'll talk about the killing people later. We don't have to get into that right now. But what does Chichen Itza mean? What's it stand for?
Chichen Itza means the mouth of the well of Itza.
Of Itza. And Itza was the specific Mayan tribe that built this thing, supposedly.
Yeah.
Right? And the Mayans, so we learned about the Incas during our last stop at Machu Picchu. The Mayans were also known for their building skills, and these things are still around. So, obviously they did a really good job. It's said that in around 1200, there was some type of civil war there, and the Mayans lost Chichen Itza to another tribe who had it for 100 years or so, and then for some reason it was abandoned around 1300s, And then we know that the Spanish conquistadors came in around the 1500s and took
Yeah.
everything over. And it said that they used this as their state capital or something. And
Well, yeah, that stinks.
yeah, totally stinks. But I don't think anybody was there when the conquistadors came in. So I think they just kind of saw it and said, "Hey, let's use this." So, but let's get into it. I mean, Chichen Itza is huge. It's big. There's a lot of things there, but we're going to focus on just a few of those things, the popular things. So the first thing we thought it was Chichen Itza is this temple, and it's called the Kukulcan Temple. Now my Spanish is a little rusty or non-existent. Will's better at it, so he's going to take a lot of the Spanish.
Wait.
How do you say that word?
Kukulcan.
Kukulcan. And they also called it El Castillo. And Castillo in Spanish is what, Will?
Castle.
The castle, they called it. So again, I thought that was Chichen Itza, but apparently it's just one of the temples. And so, like the Incas, the Mayans believed in many gods, right? So they had gods of just about everything. And they liked, I don't know if it was a god of the serpents, but this Kukulcan means serpent, which is like a snake.
Yes.
So down, this thing had stairs. You see pictures of it behind us. And this thing had 4 sets of stairs. And at the bottom of one set of stairs facing west, they have these 2 snake heads that are pretty cool looking. And so these guys were known for their building. And they were astronomers, I guess considered astronomers. So they were big into astronomy, which means the planets and the stars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So everything they built, it said that the alignment of these things was very important to them. So during the spring and autumn seasons, where the sun comes in, and we have I'm going to try and find a video of it. There's a video of it. How about that? And
What video?
the video of the shadow. And what's the shadow coming down the stairs, Will?
It's a serpent.
It's the serpent. It's like a snake slithering down the stairs. So I don't know if this was just by accident. If I saw it, I'd be like, wow, that was an accident. But they seem to think that they built it specifically because of that.
Like, I thought it was a real snake, but it was just like a shadow.
Yeah, it was just a shadow. So back to the stairs and astronomy and the alignment of these buildings. The 4 sets of stairs. Each set of stairs has how many stairs? Will?
91.
91. And what's 91 times 4?
364.
That's right. And then they had one big step at the top, which is the top of this thing. And what's 364 plus 1?
365.
And what do they think that has to do with? How many days in our calendar year?
365.
That's right. So they seem to think that they built this, I don't know, to be a calendar or something. I'm not really sure. But they seem to think that the 365 corresponds to the days of the year. So this thing's pretty cool.
What does corresponds mean?
Corresponds. So it means, that's what the other meaning. They think that the 365 stairs, they were trying to make it for the 365 days a year.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's going to take us to the cenotes. So we talked about the cenotes, a natural underground water reservoir, and these were considered sacred. One particular, I think there was 4 cenotes on the site, and we have pictures of them, and one was the sacred cenote. What did they call it, Will? It was Sacred Cenote de los Sacrificios. So right now, my Spanish friends that are watching are probably like, well, my Spanish-speaking friends
Wait,
are
can
probably
I say it?
like, wow, Brian really said that really well. Yeah, you want to try it? Go ahead. That was also pretty good. And that means the sacred cenote of the sacrifices. So as Will said,
That's
I don't think
dark.
they like to say we killed people in these things, because that's, they did sacrifices. So they sacrificed people to the gods. And that was like, they weren't really saying we're just going to kill you. We're saying we're going to sacrifice you to help everybody else. So if there was a drought, I think I've read about this a lot.
I don't get it.
If there was a drought, so a drought is when there's no water, and it hasn't rained in a while, and they really need water to survive. So one in particular god that they really dug, who's right here. There's this guy right over here.
Oh.
He is the god of rain. His name is Chalk.
Don't get confused with the sidewalk chalk.
Yeah, it's not sidewalk chalk. I'm not even sure I'm saying it right. How do you spell it?
Chaac.
Chaac. So it's Chaak, I think. Chaak. I'm not sure. They would sacrifice people to him so he would make it rain. And this guy was said to have this lightning axe that he would strike against the clouds, and that's what would produce rain and thunder. What else do we know about him, Will? Look at him.
He has a big nose.
He's got a big schnoz. So he's got a big nose in
big
just about...
boogers!
Well, I guess that means he's got big boogers. It would only make sense, right?
Or if he has small nostrils.
Yeah, but nonetheless, they liked this guy, and people would be sacrificed, and that's that. But they also had this cenote, which is the Cenote Kill. So this is a popular swim hole. I mean, you can see people swimming in it, and it's beautiful and whatnot. And you have to actually climb down, I think, 85 feet. It is a stairway, I guess, that you climb down. So it's 85 feet underground, and then you can go swimming in it. And the weird part about that is, I think in the early 1900s, somebody bought this entire area, like acres and acres of area in that place, which included Chichen Itza. In the early 1900s, this guy said, hey, let's dredge these cenotes, right? You know what dredge means?
No.
Let's scoop the bottom and see what we got. And what they find?
Bones.
Bones! They found bones. So they know that they were sacrificing people in these cenotes. So they found bones, they found jewelry, because I think they put jewelry on the people that they were, as an additional gift, as if the body wasn't enough. They threw their jewelry on them and threw them down there. But it was like a special thing. And even some people, I think, wanted to be sacrificed, I guess. I don't know how that works. Do you want to be sacrificed for anything? No, me neither. But anyways, a lot of people swim in this now, which I think is creepy, but, I think a lot of things are creepy. I'd probably jump into. I mean, if everybody else is fine, I guess I'd be too.
Why do you think it's creepy?
Well, because there was people getting thrown in there. There's bones in there, dude. There's got to be some health violation in there somewhere,
I
right?
thought they got the bones and then took them out.
Yeah, well, they did, but that doesn't mean that's people, like, they were bodies in there, and never mind, I don't want to get into that. But anyways, so the last thing we want to talk about is what, Will?
That ball game.
The ball game that they played. We're big sports fans here in the Fowler household.
Yes.
So we saw that they had this sports arena, so we wanted
But
to
not
talk about
that.
that. No, well, not that game. Yeah, it's not on TV anymore, I
It's
don't think.
dark.
It is dark. It's a dark game. So they call it pocket talk. And what's the other word we found for it?
Tlachtli.
Tlachtli, which is very difficult and hurts my tongue to say. Tlachtli. So it's a huge court. It's the biggest court, they say, in Mexico and I think South America. I would say it's probably the biggest court on the planet because I looked up other court sizes and it's way bigger. It's about 30% larger than an NFL football field, much larger than soccer fields. It's, they say, 524 feet long by 225 feet wide. And on the wide sides, on either side of the width, about the center way down, they had two holes, two vertical circles on the wall. And they played it with this, they call it a rubber ball, but it was the furthest thing from a rubber ball that's in your mind. So they'd go up to this rubber tree type thing, and they'd peel off a bunch of its bark, and they'd roll it up in what they thought was a ball. So this thing was this heavy 5 to 10 pound bark-looking ball thing, and they had to get it through the holes. And sometimes these holes were 10 to 20 feet up off the ground, and sometimes the sides elevated slightly with an incline. So I guess they could climb up it and try and throw it in there. But you couldn't use your hands. What could you use?
Your elbows.
Yep. What else?
Knees?
Yep. Elbows, knees, hips, anything but your hands, I guess. So they played this
Or
game.
your head.
I guess you could use your head. I mean, a 5-10 pound ball. So I don't know if I'd want to use my head, but maybe. They said it was a very barbaric game, so a very violent game. And people used to bet on this thing, like big time. They'd lose a ton of money. So, I mean, I'd probably be into it from that level. I'd probably want to bet on it myself, but I wouldn't want to play it. Because what happened? What happened at the end of this game, Will?
The losers get sacrificed?
What?
Or the winners?
Sometimes the winners, too. So the losers, I mean, that was probably more often the case, but sometimes the winners.
This is crazy, even in practice.
Oh, yeah, even in practice. So they practice this thing, right?
Yes.
And sometimes they'd sacrifice. Well, I guess even practice, they'd sacrifice like the team captain, or maybe the slowest guy on the team. I wouldn't want to get rid of the fastest guy, unless you were playing the winning people get sacrificed. I mean, it's crazy. And how long did these games go on for?
Like days.
Days. Could go on for days. Especially like if the winning team was going to get sacrificed, I could understand this thing going on for days, because I certainly wouldn't want to get it in the hole. But apparently it was a very difficult game too. So that's a crazy game. What else we got, Will? I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Here on Live from Somewhere, we challenge you to learn a little.
And laugh a little.
That's right. All right, so until next time, bye everybody.